Welcome to your July 2025 bonus reading and messages. You are very welcome here. We're going to get started with this Celtic cross right here. Then, as always, we will go through all 12 signs. I do want to encourage you to listen to all 12 signs because you have all of them in your chart. I just recorded a tutorial for you this morning that I will be releasing later this week that explains that and actually gives you the tools to pull your own birth chart and find out where you have the different signs according to the different 12 houses of astrology. So I'm excited to be posting that for you this Wednesday because I'm not going to be available for my normal Wednesday lives. So this is a bonus reading and I'm so excited to be jumping in with you. Please let me know where you're tuning in from, whether it's now or later for the recording. And let's get started. A little bit of a different setup here as well, since I will be traveling this summer. I'm trying out some new equipment here. And at the heart of our spread for your bonus messages, we have the King of Water card here. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected. Open your heart and mind to those around you. This is the heart of your spread. This is absolutely beautiful energy for the month of July. Of course, we are in Cancer season right now, which is ruled by, it is a water sign. It is ruled by the moon. We have that powerful full moon coming up on July 10th. If you missed my live last week, I already covered those messages. Definitely check that out because it's going to add to this energy. But this is a beautiful, beautiful energy. However, we have seen a lot of things happening around the world regarding water and regarding high emotions. So that's one of the things we're going to want to keep in mind. But it is a wonderful time to get yourself near a body of water that is safe and beautiful and refreshing. So if you can go to the beach, if you can take a salt bath, all these things are going to be positive, especially with this coming up in the heart of your spread. All right, for the challenge energy here, we have the moon card. What did I just say there? I love it when this stuff is so easy. It's just like, okay, we were just talking about the full moon. We were talking about how the moon rules Cancer. We were talking about how it's a water sign and the moon affects the tides. It affects our emotions. It brings things to the surface. So what you may find here is kind of a challenging energy this month is having to deal with these things that are surfacing or emotions that are hidden behind the scenes. So you may actually realize you feel a certain way about someone, something, some event that so far you were kind of turning a blind eye to. And of course, we are going to get some guidance around how we can use that, how we can use it to our advantage. We do have Mercury going retrograde on July 17th. Now, I am recording this live today here on July 6th, and the final day of Uranus in Taurus. It goes into Gemini tomorrow. So we're going to be feeling some things being surfaced. It will, of course, retrograde back to Taurus later this year, but this is something to keep in mind here is this moon energy is letting us know Uranus is going to shake things up. It's going to bring some things to the surface. And what I'm getting for a lot of us is, we're going to be going in a new direction with our life purpose, whatever that is for you. And so I encourage you to keep that in mind as you're listening, but always listen for energies around your relationships, your health and fitness, and your career and finance. If you are, retired, that of course would be your legacy. What are you doing with your third act? That kind of a thing. So let's jump into this subconscious energy here and see what's going on for our bonus July messages. We have the Eight of Earth. Skilled work is rewarded, learning all you can about a subject, going back to school. Now this is interesting because I have been getting this message so much for all signs about taking your skills to the next level, taking an online course, seeking a mentor. This will require you to buckle down and focus on a skill, but this is what's helping you go in a new direction with your life purpose. So if you're not quite sure what direction you're going to be shifting with Uranus moving into Gemini and all these other aspects we're going to have, just give it a little time, because with Mercury going retrograde, it's very likely that will be revealed to you. Again, around this full moon that we have on July 10th, or when Mercury goes retrograde on July 17th, that could be around the time that you're starting to get that aha moment. Emotions are coming to the surface. And I think some of us are going to feel like we are, all of a sudden unable to tolerate certain things because we've been turning a blind eye to them. There's like subconsciously we knew we weren't happy with something, and there's going to be something revealed to us. It could be through a dream. It could be through somebody calling you up and telling you something that you didn't know, and they tell you something. It's like, that's what I feel like is going to happen for a lot of us, is maybe people are going to be revealing their truth, and it's going to be shifting things a lot. So let's go over to our recent past energy here. The recent past energy, I should have turned my camera lights on so it could focus. I'm using my phone here for the overhead camera. It says you've got the Four of Fire here card, and so contentment and peace and abundance. So this is positive. This is a positive thing. We are going to be moving into Leo season later this month in, towards the end of July. And we're going to be feeling really fired up and really passionate. One of the things to keep in mind about that is that you've already started getting really excited about something, some kind of project you're doing, some kind of direction you're headed with your career. You're already excited about it. But in the unknown area here where we have this Eight of Earth, it's just letting you know it's going to take adding to your skill level, okay? And so maybe it is time to finally sign up for that painting class. Maybe it is time to hire that vocal coach or whatever it is that you're looking to do, because this is something you're already excited about, but I do think something's gonna be revealed to you. Let's get to the present energy, because I can feel so much clarity coming in. Of course, we will do all 12 signs as well as your bonus messages at the end. There we go. The present energy for the bonus messages of July is the Hermit card, spending quiet time alone in meditation. Really, really powerful to do around this full moon. But I'm going to invite you to try spending 5 to 15 minutes in the morning, right when you wake up, doing a little bit of journaling, doing a little bit of writing down what you dreamt about or what things you want to get done that day or this month. With Mercury going retrograde, we may realize that we've been doing things in a way that aren't as efficient as they could be, that there is actually an easier way to do something. So you may have to just go learn something about it. You may have to learn a new technology. You may have to learn a new way of approaching something, but using this quiet time alone during the month of July is going to be so beneficial. And with the retrograde season we're in right now, I don't remember off the top of my head, but Saturn goes retrograde at some point, Chiron, and there's another one. I don't know, but we have Mercury, and I think another one. Oh, we already had Neptune go retrograde. That was this past Friday on the 4th. So with this retrograde energy, perfect for taking advantage to learn something new, go within. I feel like with this moon card you have right here in the challenge energy, I feel like this is letting you know that if an emotion comes to the surface that feels overwhelming, taking the time alone with it and acknowledging that emotion is going to really benefit you. And even if it's an emotion you don't really want to admit to yourself, it's coming to the surface anyways. And this is where it would be a good time to study your astrology, study your human design, go get a reading from somebody you trust, do some Reiki healing so you can purge these energies, okay? That's going to be this entire month of July. That's why I'm doing these bonus messages. Speaking of which, if you didn't see it, I did an entire video for each of the 12 signs for July. So if you want to, you can go check those out too, because these are bonus messages on top of those. And it was really fascinating how many people got the World card, how many people got the Wheel card. Scorpio had a really interesting, very unique energy compared to the other signs. So definitely check those out too. All right, let's see what's coming up in the near future here. In the near future, we have the Three of Air card. Now, I have seen this card coming up with the energies a lot. Great sadness, taking time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. This is because of what's being revealed with this full moon that we have in this Mercury retrograde. And I just feel like what might come through may feel like it's delivered in a tactless way. It may feel painful to hear it, but it's really being revealed because there's healing that needs to be done around here. And so if you find that people around you are challenging, or you're having a challenging time dealing with a project or other people, it could be because there's something from the past that still needs more healing. I'm getting that it could even be something from your childhood where you were conditioned to feel or act a certain way. And in order for you to go to the next level with this super passionate energy, you have to overcome these beliefs that are outdated, right? If you think about the way you were raised, or the way the generation before us was taught to do things, and how it might even be outdated. And it's time for you to learn how to work around those blocks, heal those wounds. You know, I often will see that when I do past life readings for people. I will see that in a past life, they took a vow of poverty, and they really can't overcome that they're worthy of nice things in their life. They're worthy of going for that dream house or that dream vacation. So there is something around that I feel is going to be revealed to you. And let's step into your personal power so we can get one of your pocket affirmations here. Like I said, we will get to all 12 signs to get much more clarity. For your personal power, you have the Emperor card, beautiful organization and logic. I can't remember, but this might have come up in the full moon reading for, I think it did come up in the full moon. I don't think it was the personal power card, but I've been getting the Emperor card a lot. Organization, logic, structure, and discipline. This is a reminder about that Mercury retrograde on the 17th. We're already in shadow, okay? So you're already going to see things involving communication and technology that are just a little bumpy, a little odd, maybe not fully disclosing things. And this is what they're saying. Go for the details. Go for structure and discipline. Get organized. This is where your personal power comes in for 4th of July, because you're actually going to see, excuse me, not 4th of July, for the month of July, all of July. This is the whole month. And what I'm wanting you to think about is, with this retrograde energy, things slow down. Things come to a halt. You use that time where things are retrograde to go within, do that self-discovery, do the healing you need to do, and get organized. So this is actually where you might go revisit, okay? Anything with an RE, revisit, redesign, reorganize, restructure a project, a room in your house, a plan you have for the future. For me, I love going back to projects that have felt a little like stale, like there's friction, like it's frustrating. I like to go back to the drawing board with them and revisit it and say, why isn't this working? How can I rearrange this or approach this differently? And I think that's going to be where we get our personal power in all of the month of July, with this retrograde energy slowing down and looking to see how you could shift things, maybe adding something to your skill level that allows it to really blossom. And I think this is really wonderful for your personal power here, is that you are being empowered by organization, taking your time. So let's do a pocket affirmation here. Let's say, I find time to be organized. Let's say that right now. Or actually, I'm changing that. I want to do present tense. I am organized. Let's do that. Let's write in the comment section below. I am organized. And I know that sounds simple, but that's why I call it pocket affirmations. It's that reminder that we can slow down and take our time, check off that list, make sure we dotted our I's, make sure we crossed our T's, make sure we didn't forget anything, or that we're not denying something that we really want. See, that's the other thing, is sometimes we realize we're in a partnership with somebody and we haven't really shared something close to our heart, and it's holding us back. This could be with a business partnership, this could be with a significant other, but it's where it's like, oh, I need to have this conversation with this person because I'm not feeling in alignment right now. I need to reveal this to them. So it could be, many of you are actually the ones that are revealing things. And it may actually be really hard for you to tell somebody the truth about something, about the way you really feel. And that's why this 3 of Air card is coming up. If you do this spiritual discovery, you might realize, I'm going to have to let my boss know my heart is not in this job anymore. I'm putting my 2 weeks notice in, but you can take your time. You don't have to do it right now during this retrograde energy. So let's see what's coming up for your external factors here so we can get to the outcome. Hello, Infinitely Blessed. Hello, Kim Priestess. Linda, good to see you there. Thank you guys for being here for my surprise bonus live. practicing with my portable equipment. That's why I'm using my iPhone there. Although I just realized I could have put a light here so that these would stand out better. I'll remember that for next time. All right, so for the external factors, we have this King of Air card. There you go. There you go. Coming after that 3 of air, what I'm getting for this is somebody is going to be revealing something to you. You're going to be revealing something, and there's going to be people around you that are really wanting to hash some things out, okay? But here's the thing. Sometimes with this card, people are so savvy with the way they communicate that they're not telling you everything, okay? And that's why it's a good idea to be very organized and clear about what you want. That way, if your boss is rushing in and going, hey, please don't quit on me. I'll give you a bonus. I'll give you a promotion. And they're telling you all these things to keep you there when maybe they're not telling you the truth about what's really going on with the company, and there's about to be a merger, and that this actual promise the boss is making won't even happen for another year. So I'm just using that as an example because it's easy. I mean, if you're retired, it's about a relationship or a project, you'll know. But this is why I like to have this Emperor card here as your personal power. It will be easy for you to see the things that are not truthful if you're taking that time to do the self-discovery and get organized about the things you want. So you might have to say to yourself, all right, before I go in to talk to my boss or before I sit down to talk to my significant other about this, here are the 3 points I want to make sure I get across in a compassionate and truthful way. Write them down. Practice. Have you ever practiced having a conversation that you know is going to be challenging with somebody who's friendly? You can even practice it in the mirror, but practicing it so that you're clear on the things you want to say, that's how you're going to deal with this King of Energy stuff that I'm seeing for all of us here in the month of July. And of course, this is also stuff out on the news, right? With Uranus going into Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. Mercury is going retrograde. There's going to be all kinds of mumble jumble online as well. You're going to want to really slow down before you click on something, before you believe something. Just the other day, I got the most random text about my having a ticket, a vehicle ticket, for speeding or something like that on my phone. I'm like, what is this? I know not to click on it. And of course, when you dig in a little bit, you can see that the person sending it is a spam. But these are the kinds of things we need to be watching out for as we're going through the month of July. It's just people who aren't telling you everything, or they're leaving out an important detail that might cause you to say, hold up, I'm not sure about this yet. And it is a really good time to just slow down and ask for more time before you make any commitments, before you decide on any projects. You can start things, just don't necessarily expect them to be completed by the time we get to the end of this retrograde season. It may be that you are actually starting it, and then at the end of this season, by the time we get to the next Mercury retrograde, you're revamping it, things like that. So let's see, in the hopes and fears, we have this 6 of Earth card here. Gifts of time or money. This is activating that giving and receiving cycle. This is basically saying we do need to bring balance to our resources. And I do think that could also be something that we're learning, is we're learning where things are a little bit off. Maybe because you're implementing this structure and discipline, you're saying, you know what, I'm canceling that TV provider because I don't even use it. It's not worth my time. I could be using that time studying. You could say, you know what, I was going to go on that little trip at the end of the summer, but actually I'm going to cancel it and save the money for my new project that I'm doing or for a new investment in my home. So I think that's going to be really beneficial. Just looking around you, where can I bring balance to my resources is going to help you get to this final outcome, which we will get to all 12 signs momentarily. The final outcome is the Knight of Earth. Buckle down and get things done. I actually really, really like this card, especially coming with the Hermit card and the 8 of Pentacles in the root of your spread, because it's letting you know that your spiritual team is going to help you hold space for this Emperor energy. So if somebody's rushing you, that's a red flag. I would really encourage you to ask to sleep on things or take your time getting back to people during this retrograde season throughout the month of July. In fact, all the way through probably late August, I would even just really be taking your time before you're committing to things, before you're signing up for things. Now, there's going to be things that you can't avoid that with. Just the other day, what was it? was it during the Mercury retrograde? No, there's something going on during one of the big retrograde season we had where I did need to sign a contract. At the time, there was a deadline to sign the contract, but I just really took my time understanding the risk I was taking. It's like, what am I at risk of losing by signing this, just so that I was clear on everything. So keep that in mind going through July. Now let's hop over to all 12 signs so we can get into your each sign there and your bonus messages. Also, if these messages are resonating, I would appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, share this video with anybody you feel it would resonate with, and definitely, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, Aries, what do we have for your bonus messages? For your bonus messages, Aries, I'm using a brand new deck by the way. 5 of Pentacles. We just were having some Pentacle cards earlier, right? 5 of Pentacles there. We have this deck that I've been using for a while now, 5 of Water. This is the Guardian Angel Tarot deck. I love this deck. 5 of Water, okay. And then we have, sorry, bumping the camera. I got to get used to using this new tripod. See Only Love. See Only Love. All right, so remember, we're going to listen to all 12 signs, not just your sun, moon, and rising here to get clarity for all of this. So don't panic if you're looking at this going, wait a minute, what are these cards telling me? These cards are saying it's time to invest in your higher self. It's time to ask your heart, where am I not listening to what my higher self is trying to tell me? And it says, see only love. So I do feel like you're going to have to go higher with how you feel about something and how you approach something, especially anything that's involving any kind of material resources. I love this card because it shows this beautiful owl on it that has that ability to see things from a higher perspective and can actually look out and see where they have resources available to them that they didn't even consider. So you need to be asking your higher self, where can I find these resources so that I can bring more balance? Remember, we had that 6 of Earth card, the 6 of Pentacles. If we can bring balance to our material resources, that's going to help us rise up out of this 5 of Water card here, okay? Now, the 5 of Water card is also, I think of it as sunk cost. Like, look around and see where something is a sunk cost. You cannot get that milk up off the ground. It's a goner, or that water, I guess, whatever it is. No, it looks like milk. You can't get it back. It's a sunk cost. So that's my degree is in accounting and business administration. So that's, if you're not familiar with it, it means you're never going to recuperate what you put into an investment. So you call it a sunk cost and you cut the cords because it's costing you money to keep it around. And I do feel like, especially for the Aries, there is probably something involving either a business relationship or some other kind of friendship, or even maybe romantic, where you put a lot of emotion and energy and time into it, and it's not turning out the way you want it. It's a sunk cost. But if you can focus on the love, and this is love for yourself as well. This is an energy I get where you're, maybe you did go through a painful breakup and you're suddenly realizing how bad that person was for you. So why did you spend so much time worrying about it? It's like, well, that's just crying over spilled milk. Instead, see the love and have love for yourself. Okay, well, I was doing the best that I could at the time, right? So let's keep going with this energy here, because I know we're going to get clarification for all 12 signs, and I will definitely help with that, and we will do our bonus messages at the end here. All right, what do we have for Taurus for, let me move these off the screen so it's not confusing. Taurus, for your bonus messages, or wherever you have Taurus in the chart, you have the Queen of Swords, okay, another sword card there. Look at that gorgeous owl, another owl card. We have the 10 of Fire, overworked, stressed. And we have the, whoops, I'm gonna have to get better about that, Ground Yourself card, ground yourself. This is something that I get for the Tauruses a lot. I'm trying to make sure I can switch for you. Sorry guys, I want to be able to switch cameras for you. There we go. So when I see these cards together, the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Fire, I feel like basically you're going to have to decide to put something down. There's something you've been doing. See how tired this person is? This person is overworked. All right, and I'm getting this energy for all 12 signs for July. It's a time to slow down and recuperate and recover. There's something you've been just doing too much, and you might even get some information that kind of deflates you and makes you feel like, well, what have I been working so hard on if I'm not going to be able to complete this project? What I'm getting for the Tauruses is you are going to be able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. You're going to have to slow down in your approach to it. We have this ground yourself energy for the Tauruses, which I have gotten this card for you guys a lot this year in 2025. You are an earth sign, so you do tend to take a grounded approach, but I feel like whatever this information that's coming through, before you react to it, they want you to get outside and go for a walk. Try to slow down. Try to allow this information that's coming through to just see how you feel about it and see, maybe this isn't really worth my time or energy anymore. Maybe it is time to put down one of my projects or one of my goals for a little while so that I can rest and recover and not overwork myself. Because that's another thing I'm getting for Tauruses is just too much work. Taking more time for yourself, slowing down. We're all getting that, all 12 signs. That's actually part of the reason we have these retrogrades. They do happen for you. They give you an opportunity to take a new approach and take a reprieve, an RE, right? So definitely something to keep in mind for all of us is that grounding energy. Get outside and take a walk. Go outside and play with your dog. Go do something fun. Do a sport that's fun, like pickleball or tennis or volleyball, whatever. Just get out and have fun, Tauruses. And I think that's really going to benefit you in addition to your July messages that I had earlier. So that's your bonus message for the Tauruses. Okay, moving on to the Geminis. Geminis. You have Uranus moving into your sign tomorrow. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Uh-oh, my phone is opting out here. There we go. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Air. And we have that's another Queen of Air. Time to go. It's time to go. Wow. Wow, that's so interesting. So for the Seven of Pentacles, I think I got this for you guys recently, maybe over the full moon. Go check it out. You have invested time and energy into something, and it's been really weighing on you. Like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with all this time and energy I've invested and money I've invested? What's going to happen? That's the thing that's been really on your mind. And with this Queen of Air card here, I feel like some of the information that's coming through in July, it's going to give you clarity. It's going to be kind of abrupt, but remember, this is a brilliant and experienced energy. So it could be that you're supposed to be stepping into your power as a communicator, your power in reaching with others, and it's time to get going with that. Okay, now for some Geminis, I'm getting this card actually means time to get out of your current environment, go on vacation. Maybe it's time to move offices. Maybe it's time to start working from home. But it's two different messages, so you'll have to know and make sense for Gemini, right? But it's either or both that you need to get started on something that you keep overthinking. You're overthinking things. You're ready to communicate this thing. You've put the time and energy into it. Now hit that record button, right? And then for the other side of it, it also is that you are needing to get out of just get a break because of this Queen of Swords energy. So I feel like maybe a lot of you are taking a vacation in July, or you're just taking a new approach. Maybe you're rearranging your work schedule so you can leave work earlier during the day or take off Fridays, who knows, right? So invest that time and energy in changing things up, Geminis. I think that's going to be a really great bonus to your messages for July. All right, we're going to move on to the Cancers. Cancers, you have the King of Wands, King of Wands, beautiful energy. Look at that beautiful lion there. You have the, make sure you can see that, the Five of Fire card, Five of Fire, conflicts, and annoyances, competition, okay? And then you have the there's nothing to worry about card here. All right, I actually really like this energy here. Again, I'm going to be posting my tutorial on why you have all 12 signs in your chart this Wednesday. Since I will be out of the office, I pre-recorded it. I just have to edit it. And there, you do have Cancer in your chart, even if you've never paid attention to that. And this is a really good energy. We have the Sun in Cancer right now too, so that we're all being affected. But there is something that you really want to master in your world, and you know, it feels like just people keep getting in the way. To-do lists keep getting in the way, appointments, things you got to do, and this is really just letting you know that if anybody is, you know, causing conflict with you, you can overcome that. You can overcome that, and there's really just nothing to worry about. It's almost like I'm feeling like a false flag or something, like somebody is telling you this isn't going to work, you can't do this, and really it is going to work. You are going to be able to make that relationship come through. You are going to be able to start that project. You are going to be able to achieve that thing you're working on, but you might just have to deal with some bothersome details, and you might have to just say, you know what, I'm going to deal with this now so it doesn't become a future problem, right? I mean, remember, we all have that Emperor card there. So it's, don't put off till tomorrow something you can get done today if it's in your highest interest. Because I was saying that we're going to slow down, but, you know, this is kind of that thing like, you know, putting off your bills and paying them all at the end of the month. And then some kind of surprise expense comes through and now you're in a bind because you got to pay it all at once, right? This is more about letting yourself say, I'm not going to let this annoy me. I'm just going to deal with it. And I feel like that's kind of the energy I'm getting here, is show everybody that you are the King of Wands energy there, okay? And then whenever these little annoyances come up, you're just like, water off a duck's back. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. So there's nothing to worry about. Even if you need to take a screenshot of this card right here and just remind yourself, Cancers, there's nothing to worry about, okay? Whatever these little nuances or little annoyances come up. Like I said, I'm getting like young energy too, like just, you know, the kid kicking you the back of your seat in the booth at the restaurant. It's like, okay, we can shift positions, we can move around. This is temporary. All right, let's switch to Leos here. How's everybody doing in the chat? This is just interesting energy here, and I really felt the need to do these bonus messages for you guys. You're getting the King of Wands a lot too, Kim Priestess. Really interesting. Yeah, and I know you've got Cancer energy too. 9 of Cups for Leo. Wise Counselor. Wise Counselor. That's a 5 card, the Hierophant. And Child. Child. Yeah. Wow. Wow, Leos. Some of you, are you having kids or grandkids? 9 of Cups. This is, you know, beautiful energy for Leos. We are going to be heading into your birthday season this month. And, you know what, Leos, there's something that you could benefit by getting some more education about something, learning something new. If you are having a child or a grandchild, maybe there's something you can learn to help this child or help you deal with that adjustment. For some of you, this is actually a creative project though, and I feel like maybe you're needing like a third eye on something. Like maybe you've been working on something with somebody else, with your partner, whatever, and you need a third party to come in and show you, hey, you know, you could make this easier if you do it this way. And then the 9 of Cups card, again, you're looking for that emotional fulfillment, Leo. So this is, again, you know, I would be careful of somebody who is possibly trying to talk you out of things, but maybe you haven't really been able to give birth to something because you're not seeing it from that outside perspective, right? What's the Wayne Dyer quote about, when you're inside the jar, it's hard to read the label on the outside? That's what I'm getting from this this wise counsel card, but you are going to be getting something really emotionally fulfilling, Leos. I really like that. And it's going to allow you to birth something new. Maybe you're birthing a relationship. Maybe you're birthing a book. You're starting your book. With it being retrograde season and Mercury retrograde, maybe you're starting your memoirs. Maybe you're going to start telling your story. Have you always thought about telling your story? And it doesn't matter what age you are. It's always a good time to start gathering that information because other people can learn from you, Leos, and we need your heart. We need your love in the world. So get started on those projects, and maybe you do just need to get that outside perspective, right? Get an editor, get an agent, get a coach, right? So I think that's going to really benefit you guys, Leos, in July. All right, let's move on to the Virgos. Hello, Leisha. Good to see you. Hello, Miss Annie. Virgos, we have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. We have the Strength card. Courage, compassion, perseverance. I think I got this for you last week at the full moon, Virgos. Does anybody know off the top of their heads? And then we have the reward yourself, Virgos. Reward yourself. I love it when I get those two cards together for Virgos. I mean, this Knight of Cups card here is just letting you know that things are going to be coming to the surface for you pretty quickly. You're going to be very emotionally involved in either a project or a relationship or a new interest. Like I feel like some of you are going to go ahead and start studying something new, and it's going to be very emotional for you. But it is going to require you to just stay strong. You are so strong, Virgos. You are so strong. But you got to watch out that you're not depleting yourself. I have this reward yourself card too, and what I'm getting for the Virgos with this is that you can't wait until everything on your to-do list is done to reward yourself. You need to do a little and then you need to celebrate. You need to do a little, then you need to celebrate. And that's a good reminder for all of us is, take more time to celebrate your small successes. And honestly, with this Strength card here, that's how you keep your strength up. That's how you keep yourself feeling really passionate with this Knight of Cups card here. And of course, this is a beautiful swan on here, which they're known for their representing love. So maybe some of you are starting some new relationships or you're taking a relationship to the next level. But I really like this for the Virgos as long as you are taking lots of breaks to celebrate. That's how you're going to keep your strength up throughout the month of July. All right, let's move on to the Libras, lovely Libras. Libras, you have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles. I like using these two decks together. These are really great. The Justice card. Okay. Your card, Libra. Fairness, the law, karma, and relationship. Relationship. All right. So Libras, what I feel is going on for you guys is somebody new is coming in and helping you with your work, your career, some kind of creative project. They're going to be helping you invest your time and energy in moving in a new direction, which I know you guys have been doing that a lot, but this is going to actually help things balance out for you. You've been overworked, Libras, really for the last few years you have, especially when you had the nodes moving through your sign and your opposing sign, Aries. So definitely accept this new help coming in, accept this opportunity to invest in something new. Again, I feel like for most of us, this is learning a new skill or taking a skill to a new level. And this is going to benefit all your relationships here, Libra. I think that for a lot of you, it's a new person coming into your life that's going to bring more balance to your day-to-day life. Things have just been out of balance. So maybe you are hiring somebody to, help take care of the kids and run errands so that you can spend more time on your projects. Maybe you are hiring somebody to help clean your home. Maybe you're just getting a business partner or a romantic partner who is going to bring balance to your personal life, right? So that's the other thing to keep in mind. This is not just about work. I am feeling it's quite personal for Libras, which of course it always is, but just keep an eye out for that opportunity to invest in something new. This is going to benefit all your relationships, your relationship to your health, your relationship to your work, and your relationship to other people. So really, really positive energy there. All right. Next, we have the Scorpios. Scorpios? Let me switch the cameras there. All right, Scorpios, we have for you the Knight of Pentacles. Look at that cute donkey. We have the Five of Air. Okay, another air card there. Another air card there. And then we have the Energy Work card. Yeah. Okay, so again, we have all 12 signs in our chart, but I did note how different the July reading for Scorpio was, where I did your individual videos for each of the 12 signs. It was so different from the other 11 signs. I feel like what you're going to need to do is invest in your well-being this month, Scorpio. So this means taking a vacation. This means getting that massage. This means investing in something new for your home that brings you more comfort, right? It could be, like I'm saying, like, have some of you been thinking about trying that red light therapy? Maybe you're getting that for your home. Like, there's something there that is going to help you. It's also a card of focusing on your health too. And of course, this could be health in relationships, health with your career, right? That it can be, you know what this is for you, right? It's a general reading, so you have to listen to your intuition, listen to the other signs there. But I do feel like there's this Five of Air card again. We're all going to have something revealed to us, and we're going to realize maybe something was a mistake to invest in. Maybe there was something that we overlooked, you know, and this says melodrama here too. So it's also kind of like maybe you're realizing somebody in your workplace or your environment is being over dramatic about things and overreacting, right? And so you might have to just go do that energy work, go clear your energy. So I definitely feel for the Scorpios, anything you can do to purge your energy so that you can rise up out of this Five of Air situation here, and just try to avoid a lot of conflict throughout the month of July. I mean, of course, we all want to. Sometimes conflict is necessary. Sometimes hard conversations are necessary. But I'm seeing Scorpios doing those floating tanks and those tanks you can get in and do the with the Epsom salt. I'm seeing you guys taking baths. I'm with salt water and just really taking an extra amount of time to put candles on and music. And maybe you can get a Reiki session. Maybe you can do some clearing of your energy. And for all of us, with this retrograde season, great time to clean out that closet, clean out that junk drawer. You might find something you didn't know was there that you've been looking for. That's what I'm getting for some of us. Let me know if you do. All right. Moving on to the Sagittariuses. Sages. Let me pull up your sign there. There we go. Sagittarius. You guys have the Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful. Beautiful. You have the Two of Earth. Another Pentacle card. Balance. Prioritization. Playfulness. And release and surrender. Release and surrender. I do happen to remember the Sag reading very well for the full moon that's coming up on July 10th. Definitely go check that reading out. That was my live last week. I did it over a week early, so you have time to watch it and plan. But this full moon coming up on July 10th, Sages, take a playful approach, take a break, but do start working towards making a decision. I feel I got that for some of you. You're ready to move on from a job situation, a relationship, a home. There's something you're ready to move on from, but you're not just, you got to just do it. Like, I feel like with this full moon, Sages, and really we're all going to have a lot of conversations around this full moon because emotions are going to be rising to the surface, which is going to cause us to have these conversations. I do feel like for the Sages, it's like something's going to push you off the fence, right? Like you're going to learn something and you're going to say, that's it. I'm out of here. And that's that release and surrender card, right? And I love the word surrender because it's that reminder that we have this divine guidance available to us if we can just surrender to what our spiritual team is letting us know, surrender to divine flow, trusting the process, right? What's my favorite pocket affirmation. Does anybody know in the comment section below what is my favorite pocket affirmation? I'll remind you in a minute. But definitely with this full moon energy, I want all of us to use this pocket affirmation that is my all-time favorite. I'll tell you about in just a minute. But just to wrap up with the Sages, I really think that it's time to get off the fence and also just be playful, just have fun. Like, maybe you do have to have a hard conversation with a best friend, with a significant other, with a boss, but if you can just plan something playful afterwards, I think that's going to really help you realize it's time. It's time to release and surrender and just go invest in yourself, Sages. So I really like that. Sorry about that dinging there. It's my... Do any of you use your iPhones as a camera for streaming on your computer? That's what it's doing, and I don't know why it's making noises constantly. But let's move on to the Capricorns. Let's make sure my camera's working there. There it is working. Okay, good. Alrighty. I'm gonna move on to the Caps here. Oh, everybody, I see Infinitely Blessed knew it. I am in divine flow. That's right. Thank you. She got it. I am in divine flow is my all-time favorite pocket affirmation, and we are going to need that pocket affirmation with this watery energy in July, right? Okay, and the air energy too. Lots of air energy. All right, Capricorns. Thank you, Infinitely Blessed. We have Capricorn. We have the Page of Wands. Very nice. Very nice. I like that energy. I like the energy for Capricorns, or wherever you have Capricorn in your chart. Transformation. I've been getting this Tower card for Capricorns a lot. I'm a Cap rising, so it sticks in my mind. But, you know, I'm like Chris Reck about this. Chris Reck from Minopon Tarot, he sees this as a positive card. I definitely see it as positive coming with the Page of Wands, because it feels like you're going to be doing something new and creative that's going to really bring you some powerful transformation. I got a little ahead of myself and didn't pull your third card there. We have the opportunity to forgive. Opportunity to forgive. You know, I feel like there is going to be some communication, Capricorns, that's coming in for you. Maybe it's somebody you used to work with. Maybe it's an ex. A lot of us will have exes coming back from the past, maybe just in a dream. You may not actually have contact with them, or maybe you'll see a post they make and it makes you think about something with them. And there's going to be this opportunity to forgive yourself for things that didn't go quite the way you wanted. And this new creative project, it's going to really bring a lot of change for you. And I mean, this could be a new relationship too. It could be a new home. It could be a lot of new things. But these new things you're doing in July, Capricorn, are going to provide that transformation that actually show you, oh wow, like I need to get over this. This was something that I didn't understand in the past. I keep kicking myself about it, and instead of kicking myself about it, I'm going to move on and move in a new direction. I'm really getting that for the Capricorns. It's like, I don't know, maybe you have somebody calling you up and apologizing this month. You'll have to let me know, because with all that sword energy, it's like I feel all of us are just going to have things coming for release, and maybe somebody else that really just wasn't allowing you to shine with your creative projects is coming forward, or shine your light. It could be anything. It's coming forward and saying, hey, I'm sorry about that. And it'd be a great opportunity to allow that forgiveness, so we're not carrying that around. It does not mean you take them back. It does not mean you get back into business with them. It does not mean any of those things, but it is that opportunity to release that energy, especially with this full moon. Okay? All right. So let's move on to the Aquariuses. Of course, we're going to do your bonus messages at the end here. Yes, if you want to write in the comment section below, I am in divine flow, to remind you, it's really, really powerful. I like to do it with 3 times, and I often do it in traffic or at the airport. All right, Aquas, what do we have for your bonus messages? And then we'll get to everybody's bonus messages and some actions to take after Pisces. We have the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups. Interesting energy there. Wow. All right, Pluto's in your sign. We also have Ace of Air. Ace of Air, inspiration, communication, adjustments. Interesting. And Ask. Yeah, Ask. All right, Aquas. I feel like for you, for this bonus message to add to your individual video, your July video that was just for Aquarius. Definitely check it out if you haven't, because there was a lot of information, there was a lot of stuff coming through about needing to move on from something. And this Seven of Cups usually is referred to as like a card of an illusion. There's illusions in here. It's like you don't really know what's in the cups, and maybe somebody's not being completely truthful for you. Maybe they know what's in one of the cups, and the cup they're offering you, they're not being truthful. We got that in the Celtic cross. If you're tuning in late, the Celtic cross was talking about our external energies being the king of air, where somebody might not be telling you everything. And sometimes they're not telling you everything because they're not because it's for a negative reason. They're not trying to be deceitful. Maybe they're not ready to tell you, right? Have you ever like dated somebody and they didn't really want to talk about their last breakup because they just weren't quite ready to go there? And eventually over time, when they feel like they trust you, they can tell you things like that. So it can be something like that. You need to listen to your intuition. But with this Ace of Air, I think you do have this opportunity to do something new in July, Aquas, and you're kind of just like, what is it? What am I going to do next? And you're not going to really know until you get started. I feel like with this Ask card, who you're asking is your spiritual team, right? Your spiritual team is your angels, your guides, your higher self, ascended masters, spirit animals. There are loud and clear signs available for you, Aquas, to help you understand this new thing that you're doing. I feel like some of you are going to start a new podcast, start a new YouTube channel, start a new book. Maybe you already have those things and you're just going to do it in a new way. But this Seven of Cups card is kind of asking you to get really clear on the things that are not serving you, that are bringing you down emotionally. I think that's the big message I'm getting, is I think by the time you get to this full moon, you are going to have clarity on the things in this card, these Seven of Cups, and you're going to realize, I don't want those cups anymore. I want to go in a new direction. So you have to tell me, what's this new thing you're doing, Aquas? And just remember, we all want to take our time, dot our I's, cross our T's, because we're probably going to revisit it. But this full moon is going to be very revealing for all of us. So definitely check out my full moon video if you haven't already. All right, we're going to do Pisces here, and then we are going to do your bonus messages that have the actions to take. I like getting actions, right? The angels give us homework assignments. All right, we have the Eight of Swords here. Eight of Swords. Pisces. We have the Five of Earth. Okay, that card's been coming up a lot. And then we have the Joy card. The Joy card. All right, so I can sum this up. I will go into more detail, but you waited so long. I will definitely go into more detail, but pursue joy. Pursue joy, Pisces. Did you check out the all signs reading I did with Chris Reck a couple weeks ago? We did the rest of 2025, Pisces. You got to go listen to what came up for you guys. But we really need to pursue joy. What I'm getting with this Eight of Swords card here is you have a lot of things that you are trying to deal with, and you need to pick the thing that brings you the most joy, and you need to go higher with your thoughts too, right? We need to go higher with our thoughts. So maybe you are saying to yourself, you know, well, I could take on this project, I could write a book about this, I could start a YouTube channel about that. I could do all these things, and in your mind is just swirling around, and none of them is really exciting you. You're not that excited about it. And I feel like if you will go higher with the way you look at things, like, have you ever had that inner monologue? We all have it sometimes, where you're just kind of walking around and you don't even realize you're kind of like complaining all the time about something you're doing, like, I gotta go to the grocery store, and oh man, there's no parking, and oh, and then I'm gonna get home late, and I'm gonna miss my show, and things like that are just like not helping, instead of being like, well, I'm in the right place at the right time. You know, my spiritual team is helping me. I am in divine flow. So pursuing joy is your homework assignment, Pisces, for the month of July. And I'm going to go ahead and give that homework assignment to everybody here. What is something joyful you can do in the month of July that allows that opportunity for self-discovery? So what am I talking about? I'm talking about picking up that book on human design or astrology and learning more about your chart. I'm talking about going and getting, you know, a Reiki session where you really go deep into a meditation and really relax. I'm talking about finding a more fun way to exercise, changing up that playlist, doing things with new groups of people. Just remember, we are getting so much guidance for July about slowing down and going within, especially around this full moon. So I'm hoping that you guys can go ahead and plan right now, if you're watching this early, to take some extra time. Like I said, wake up in the mornings before you go check your email or turn on the news or anything like that. Grab that journal, write down any big dreams that you recall, or just write down how you want your day to go. When I journal every single morning, the first thing I do is I open my journal, I write the date, I write thank you God for today, morning angels and guides, and then I write today is a great day, or sometimes I'll say a wonderful day or a joyful day, whatever I feel like doing. And then I will ask for help getting things done. I did that yesterday. No, it was Friday. No, Friday was a holiday. Yesterday, I knew I had to get some work done, even though it was a weekend, because of the short week and some traveling I have coming up. And I asked my spiritual team, help me have a very productive day. And boy, I did have a very productive day yesterday. That's why I'm so excited for this video I'm going to be releasing for you guys on Wednesday with a free PDF that's going to help you understand why I talk about all 12 signs are in your chart. So definitely listen to all 12 signs. All right, let's move on to your bonus reading here. All right, this is going to be the present energy. This is the near future energy. This is the future, as I like to say. How's everybody doing in the comments? How's everybody feeling? Yeah, I'm excited to get deeper into July. And honestly, I'm not necessarily too worried about any of these retrogrades. I think it's actually really beneficial energy for Mercury to be retrograde in the middle of July. It just happens to be on my birthday, July 17th, that it goes retrograde. And it's funny because my natal Mercury is retrograde too. So I actually tend to be really productive during a Mercury retrograde, but the production comes from reviewing things, revamping things. I go pull out some curriculum from a workshop I taught 2 years ago and I revamp it, right? That's another RE. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think for me, I'm going to be focused on a lot of rest and reprieve and looking to see where is there friction in my life. That's the other thing, is I'm going to be traveling a little bit. And I know that every time I travel, there are things that when I come back, I have a different viewpoint on. I just had that happen to me when my husband and I went to Sedona in June. I had this huge epiphany and change in my mindset about something that I have coming up this year. And I'm really grateful that I had that new perspective on it. And I feel that's the same way for all of us in July, if we will take that time to slow down. You don't have to go on vacation to do it. Just make sure you're taking that extra time for that self-discovery. And even somebody who knows I know my birth chart very, very well inside and out, but I will often do a deeper dive into it. I'll learn something new. I'll listen to an astrologer with a different viewpoint on it. Or I'll check into my progress chart or things like that. And that is a great thing to do with this energy in the month of July. So let's see what we have for your present energy right here. We have the Queen of Water. Whoa, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Queen of Water in the heart of your spread. In the present energy. And what did we have in the heart of our spread, right? All this water energy is what's going on here. And there is an opportunity to really nurture yourself. You've got to plan for it, okay? And that's why it's like, do you need to be burning the candle at both ends? No, it's retrograde season. I mean, we shouldn't be doing that anyways. We should be nurturing ourselves. But if you're feeling stuck on a project, give yourself a break. Walk away from it for a little bit. I've got a project that I'm working on right now behind the scenes that I have had no time or energy to work on. I am just trusting that things are going to slow down with this retrograde. I'm going to focus on nurturing myself, and I'm going to end up getting all the energy I need to do that project. So rest and reprieve, okay, you guys? Now the near future card is the Two of Air. Okay, we've been getting a lot about communication, a lot about needing to make a decision. This says pretending there is not a problem. And that's the thing, is we might get blindsided with some information during this month that causes us to say, I can't ignore this anymore. I've got to say something. I've got to speak up, right? Because that stalemate energy really, it's painful. You may not realize it, but if you're avoiding a problem, that energy is still back there behind you, weighing on you, you know, even if you're not aware of it consciously. So in the near future, we're going to have to face something. It may mean having that conversation, letting your boss know, letting your significant other know, this isn't working for me anymore. And, you know, like I said, with this full moon revealing some things, you're probably going to be forced to deal with it. You know what I mean? So just make sure you're nurturing yourself. Like maybe it is a stressful conversation. Make sure you're spending some time going for walks or going to bed early, or just take a little power nap if you can sometimes. So let's see what the future is. We have the 10 of fire here. The 10 of fire, too much work. And who had this? Was it Tauruses had this? Accept help from others, stress-related health concerns. Boom, right there. So I'm actually seeing that if you will go ahead now at the time you're hearing these messages and face the things that you need to face, make the changes you need to make, have the conversations you need to make, you need to have, this is going to end up being a really positive energy for you. You're going to be really grateful that you did that. It might be hard work, but you're going to be grateful. And then I think what you're going to end up doing is you're going to see things moving forward so quickly that you're probably going to have to put some wands down, right? That's the whole idea of this energy here, is that it's just too much. It's too much. You're taking on too much of a burden, okay? Even if it's something you love. Even if it's something you love. All right, so let's switch over to the action cards here. For the first action card, we have the 5 of air. It says an unwise choice. Wow, so many air cards, so many air and water cards. And it says review everyone's motives. Since this is a card of action, and we say coming up in the near future, we have this 2 of air, I do think you need to get clear about where the other person is coming from when you hear this information, when these things are being revealed to you. Because if we have the King of Swords in our external factor, somebody might not be telling you the truth. My easiest way to say this is the person who wants to go with the flow, they don't want to be a bother, so they just go along with everything, and then all of a sudden they're like, but I told you I hate Mexican food. And you're like, what? You said you didn't care what we ate. And you know, I never knew that about you. And it's like this big dramatic thing. And it's like, you could have just told me, we would have picked a different place, right? And it's like, well, why did they wait so long to tell me, you know? And these things are being revealed, and that's a silly one. And I actually really like Mexican food, but you know, there's something here where if you can understand that, like, maybe they don't feel worthy of picking up, like, their motivation and just going with the flow and not causing conflicts because they don't feel worthy of saying, I deserve the food I want. I know that's a silly, mundane example, but I do feel like if you can get clear on people's motives, that's going to be good. Also, with this energy of people not really telling you everything, that's again when the boss is saying, hey, I need you to do this project for me. I need you to go on this trip for me. And then you find out like that it's because he's getting ready to let one of your colleagues go, or you're getting ready to merge, like I used that example earlier. So just try to like see where everybody's coming from, and it's okay if it's a different motive. It doesn't make it a bad thing. My other favorite example is like 2 people who travel together, and one wants to sit by the beach and the other one wants to go to every church and museum, right? And it's like, we have different motives. They're both good. We need to get clear. And like, how can we find a creative solution? So this is also a card of creative solutions here. All right, so let's review everyone's motives as our action, and then let's get to our second action. We'll pull it all together. We have the 5 of fire. So many fives, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Yeah, you're just going to see this a lot in the headlines. You're going to see this in groups of people. You're going to see, I think you are going to see some endings. Like you're going to find out all of a sudden, like, you know, a local business is closing down because the partners didn't agree. You're going to find probably that you're going to learn of some relationships ending, maybe marriages, maybe best friends just not seeing eye to eye. But this is an action card here. And remember, we had that Emperor card as your personal power, competing goals and bothersome details. And with this 10 of Wand here, what this is asking you to do is, again, don't pretend there's not an issue. If you're ignoring that weird leak coming out of your car, don't ignore it. Go get it in and get it looked at, right? That's what we're dealing. It's like, oh, I don't have time to deal with that. I have to do this and this and this. We need to face the issues that need to be faced. You know, this is a good time to review your books for your businesses and how far have I come this year? Are there any unnecessary expenses? This is a good time to have those conversations about, you know, this is how I feel. I know you're telling me this, but let's find a way to find a creative solution so we're not all overwhelmed. And that's the other thing to keep in mind too, is everybody feels this energy. Everybody. You're here, you're smart, you're rising above it, you're getting ahead of the game. So you have the opportunity to be this queen of water energy through it and just master your emotions. When other people around you are flying off the handle about something, you're going to want to ground yourself. You're going to want to master your emotions. Maybe you need to move your energy and out of that environment instead of trying to deal with it. But I do think that there's an opportunity here to really, really grow this month by spending that quiet time alone. What class have you always wanted to take? What subject have you always wanted to learn more about? You know, gosh, so many free things to learn about on YouTube, right? You can go to your local library and check out a book. You can look for classes. There's so many opportunities for that, especially in July. So I want you to just be thinking about that. Like maybe there is something that you can sign up for this fall. And you just need to take some things off your schedule so you have time for it. So I feel like this is really valuable. I hope you'll add these messages to the individual videos I did for all 12 signs. It's the first time I've done that where I did a whole video for just one sign at a time. But please check out my video I will be releasing this Wednesday, where I have a free PDF for you about how you have all 12 signs in your chart. I know a lot of you are astrologers, so you already know all this, but I get this question a lot. It's a fantastic question. Why do you say I have all 12 signs in my chart? It's because we do. We have all 12 signs, and I'm going to show you through the houses. I have a little fun PDF that describes everything for you. So I will be editing that after this live and getting it posted for you guys on Wednesday. And until next time, have a wonderful, amazing July. And remember, take time every day to connect with the angels. Bye, everybody.